Welcome to the Fan's Nest. Let me just tell you something. I am incredibly excited to do this show. This new podcast. Let me turn this music down a little bit. A little bit. There we go. I'm trying to figure this out. So, what I'm trying to do with this podcast, obviously, it's about the birds. Hold on. I have to switch out some stuff real quick. Put the headphones right there. There we go. I'm trying to figure out how I'm doing this whole audio thing. I just had to switch my headphones from the laptop to my little mixer. A little technical stuff that you probably don't care about. So yeah, I'm literally just diving in right now. My whole issue is I don't know how I like to start things. When I start, if you watched my I guess the thing I put out originally about what I was going to do with a podcast, or with this podcast specifically, I just went on with, I don't want to say a rant, but I just kept talking. And I was just talking about what my plan was with this. Okay, what was I saying? My whole thing is that when I do a podcast, or when I do anything like this, I want it to be perfect. And if I don't know what I'm doing, I'm not going to do it, or I'm going to take like a year to get it going. And that's pretty much what this has been. I've had so many ideas, but I don't want to go into anything that's irrelevant right now. So, what's the show about? Now, if you're watching, I was a little too close to the microphone. Now, if you're watching, you see, what I'm surrounded by. What do you think this is about? Even if you're listening, the logo, maybe the name, you came across something that actually brought you here, and you see exactly what it's about. I don't even have to go into anything further than that. It's about our Eagles, man. There's so many things that I am going to go into what I was thinking of doing in the past. There's some passions I have. There's a little bit about me. I have this music background, formerly known as DJ SP. Formerly because that's what I used to do. I started DJing in '98, I think. Maybe about 10-ish years ago or less. I don't know. I decided to kind of get out of it. I was a hip hop DJ. I was a mixtape DJ, and we know, if you're into like those type of things, like hip hop scene, mixtapes, where that went. It just wasn't, everything was changing. Artists were able to do their own thing. So I was getting out of that. And oh boy, I do. All these years, I've missed the microphone. I've missed the cameras. So maybe about 3 years ago, COVID. Even a little before COVID, I got into life coaching, and I had a podcast during COVID. If you've heard it or seen it, thank you for your time. Absolutely loved doing that podcast. It was just an amazing time, but did it for a few months with a friend of mine. Shout out to April. We didn't continue with it. My life was going in a whole different direction, a completely different direction. Had to change some things up. I couldn't put a lot of time into that, so my life was unpredictable. I couldn't schedule anything. piece of hair just landed on my microphone. It's crazy. Yeah, so I don't know where that hair came from. Um, I'm crazy. So, um, if you if you ever if you ever want to go about finding or watching or or listening to that podcast. I mean, I know I'm going into something that is completely irrelevant right now. You're here for the Eagles. You're here for the Birds. You're here to see what I got to say about uh our lovely team. Um lovely team in Philly, you know. Um but if you ever want to check out the podcast that we had going on for a few months, it's pretty good. We go into some things, you know, a little deep. Um just search for actually you could search just about anywhere you would listen to podcasts, even in YouTube. Look up a how you living, how you living. Yeah, YA. How you living podcast. SP in April. Um I'd still tell people about that. That's something that we have discussed uh, recently about possibly bringing back. I've had the itch. I even have another Facebook page that is into that. But anyway, once again, I'm sorry for going into something that's completely irrelevant. Um, so anyway, so this show is all about the Birds. Now, oh, I I'm not one of those guys that I don't know stats like that. I don't know a lot of stats. I'm not a stats person. I don't know every single player on the team or in the NFL. I as much I'm a I don't want to I don't want to say I'm a basic fan. I'm a big Eagles fan, but I don't know everything. So I would love to talk to people that actually know their stuff, that know more than me. I like to learn and educate myself. You know, I may see some stuff that I'm completely wrong about. Whatever. I'm not perfect. I'm just a fan. My whole point of this show is to talk beer. Yes, I'm going to get into that in a little bit. Talk beer, talk football, specifically the Eagles, and that's it. I'm just a fan. Like I literally got this influence because I wanted to do another podcast about wrestling. I'm like, I want to do something. I want to do a podcast. I want to do this. I'm into WWE. Laugh at me. I don't care. Um, I'm like, maybe if I do this one show in wrestling beer, but I kept hesitating on it. I've been thinking about it for about a year, and as much as I watch Fox 29 a lot, I watched Good Day Philly. I watched the new show, the After Show. Then I started watching the Fantastic Sports Show. Fantastic Sports Show was has Jason Martinez, Breland Moore, Breland Moore. Um, they had this opportunity every week. They have that, or every night they have the opportunity. Hey, text this number, a video, or use the hashtag on Twitter, X. I did it one time, and ever since then, it's like, all right, I've been asked to submit a couple videos a week, my opinions, and every time I did a video, I'm like, man, there's so much more I want to say. I mean, I don't want. There isn't much. I can't talk for like an hour or a few hours like they do on 94 WIP. But like, there's more that I want to say than like 15 seconds worth. I've started realizing. I'm like, why? I'm like, there we go. Why don't I just talk Eagles, have a podcast, talk to people, And also, I listen to WIP uh, every day. I literally I listen from the midday show all the way to sometimes what do they call it, the Players Lounge. Listening to those guys, it's like it's it's great. I started knowing a lot of the callers. it's it's crazy. It's crazy. I love listening to that show, and between my my time watching Fox 29 and doing that show, doing my opinions, and then listening to 94 WIP every day. That's what pretty much inspired me to do this. Like I felt like I needed to do something, and here I am in front of you, or in your ears if you're watching, or if you're listening. I don't know how you're doing this, but thank you. Um, I did mention beer a little bit ago. So basically, what I'm trying to do, so I want to do this show every Wednesday live. What you're watching right now is pre-recorded. I wanted to make sure things were working correctly, and once everything was working correctly, and I was doing everything uh, fine, and my edits were great, and my confidence was better, then I'm like, okay, then I'm going to do this live. And there's other things I wanted to do with this show. Um, I'll get into that a little later. Beer. So this is how I'm going to open the show officially. Get into everything else later. Don't ask me what I meant by that. You'll know. I'm trying to be entertaining. Am I doing okay? I know it's what are we in, like 12 minutes worth into this already? I'm probably putting you to sleep by now. I don't care. So let's turn this down there. All right. I can't hear the music, by the way. So if it sounds funny, low, you can barely hear it. I'm sorry. I'm trying. That's why I'm recording this. Um, you don't have to hear the music, but beer. Man, I'm like a squirrel. Like literally, I'm like a squirrel. I'm like on one thing and then I'm onto another one. This is why I need to be talking to people on the show too. Anyway, to open up the show. So I don't have it. I'm gonna admit this right now because I was not prepared. Earlier today, I said, you know what? I've been thinking for maybe a week or two about doing this Eagles podcast, the Fans Nest. I actually had the name Fans Nest because I originally started a merchandising uh, company. I created a couple things, and I was trying to come up with a name for it, and I came up with the Fans Nest. Had it out for a few days, maybe a week. Thought about the podcast, and I'm like, I'm going to create the podcast, and I'm like, oh, there goes something else. I have to have a name for. There we go. And then that's where I'm like, I already have a name. Fans Nest, man. The Fans Nest. This is where you could land. You could land here, drink some beer with me or whatever, and we could talk about our birds, our hometown. Well, I can't really say if you're listening somewhere else, but our team, our home team. Um, and then it's like, why not beer? That was my previous idea before was uh in my little wrestling podcast idea. Let's talk about beer. Beer, wrestling, great. Beer and football, also great. Right. I think beer and football go hand in hand. Like you can't do one, can't do another. So, um, bringing it back, I thought earlier today, I'm just gonna dive right in. On my way home, I kept going, picked up dinner, came here, and I'm like, I did not buy beer. Yeah, so um, basically what I mean by, having beer on the show. I'm not going to be here to be getting drunk. That's not the goal. I like talking about beer. Let's have a featured beer. That's what I'm going to, excuse me. That's what I'm going to be having. I want to have like a featured beer every week. Wednesdays, possibly 9 o'clock p.m. live. I want to have a beer with you. And when I have a beer, it'll be something new. I'm going to introduce it. I'm going to feature it myself. Um, if you have a company, a brewing company, or if you know somebody that's a brewing company that wants to feature a specific beer flavor, IPA, whatever, yeah, reach out to me. Uh, I don't if you want to I'm not really trying to push anything harder than that. I just want to talk beer. If you want to push like liquors, wine, you know, reach out to me. I'll make the decision if I want to do it or not. But I really, really want to put beer on this show. Beer is just, I I'm a big IPA guy. IPA, lagers, uh, honestly, anything seasonals. I I'll try it. Um, some of my favorites though. Some of my favorites. It really just depends. It depends on what it is. Honestly, I could drink almost anything, any type of beer, any craft beers. I'm like I said, I'm also an IPA guy. I love certain IPAs. Um, one of my if I have to choose a favorite IPA, it would actually be the El Segundo. Some of you know the El Segundo original Broken Skull Lager. No, no, no. I'm sorry, not the lager. The lager is pretty good. The lager's pretty good, but the original Broken Skull IPA, the one that comes with like a tan can. Man, I wish I had one around here. Man, I wish I went next week. Next week. Next week. Um, that one is my probably my top favorite IPA. Like it's citrusy. Uh, it's not too strong. It's not light. It just it just tastes so perfect. It's just perfect. And I've had my nights where I'm sitting there, I'm watching Raw. I'm telling you, when wrestling had the Thunderdome, I was on the Thunderdome. Some of you may not know what I'm talking about, but they had like little cameras in the back of the wrestling ring. Like instead of the crowd, since COVID, they had screens, and the tiny little screens. Um, there was the fans at home watching in front of my laptop. It was amazing. I was sitting there drinking my Broken Skull IPAs. There was nights where I just had 3, 4 during Raw. By the time that show ended, I was just like, "Hey, that is not what I'm trying to do on this show, on this podcast. I'm not trying to get drunk. I'm just trying to uh, present my drink of the week, have a beer with you or two, um, and I want to also hear what you're drinking, what your favorites are. I want to interact with you. Speak to me. Go Birds. So my whole thing is I'm going to show you a can, and if you're watching, you're going to see the can. If you're not watching, you're listening on wherever, because I do plan on having this everywhere. I'll describe it to you. Telling you where I got it will not help at all, but whatever. Um, I'll pour it into my old beat up Eagles stainless steel cup that I have right here. Currently, I have water in here because my throat's been dry. I've been coughing. I'm not getting sick. It's just dry in here. Excuse me. Speaking of that, I've been wanting to take a sip of my water. Yes, it's water right now. Yeah, so if I was to have a beer today on this show, it would be the El Segundo Steve Austin Broken Skull IPA. That is what my goal was, but it's not here today. I don't have it, so whatever. All right. Let's see what I got left here. Okay. So getting into the show now. Let me see what we're looking at here. All right. Now on to our birds. It's bird time. Kind of like morphin time. All right. That was corny. That was very, very corny. Feel free to laugh at me. So we are suffering from a loss right now. We just faced San Francisco this past weekend. I'm sorry, and it was ugly. It was ugly. You know, I don't remember everything specifically because, like I said, I'm not that perfect. I'm gonna continue saying I'm not those guys on radio or on sports TV that I could constantly just bring up stats. But what I can say is we lost 42-19. um that was ugly. So all right. So I when I went I don't see I don't even know what to say about it because it was such it was completely not what any of us expected. Maybe Eagles haters, possibly. Maybe some of us Eagles fans did expect this. Okay, not me. I think a majority of us Eagles fans thought we were either going to lose the game or it was just going to be a close game that we were again going to barely win. Uh, I expected. Let me see. What did I expect? Okay, so we have these 5 games, right? It was the Kansas City, the Chiefs, Bills, Niners, Cowboys, Seahawks. There was a lot of talk on how we were going to come out of these 5 games. And I'm not going to lie. I thought we were going to lose to the Chiefs, beat the Bills, lose to the Niners, lose to the Cowboys, maybe beat the Seahawks. And I say this because when was the last time I guess I was about to go backwards here, but when was the last time we beat the Seahawks in Seattle? Even our Super Bowl year, where we actually went to the Super Bowl and beat Tom Brady, the Seahawks gave us our first L. Yeah, I remember specifically that was an ugly. Well, that was a bad loss. Like Russell Wilson just tore it up. Wentz did horrible for the first time that season. Um, Dallas Cowboys. We hate the Cowboys. We're always 1-1 with them. We haven't swept them in probably 10 years, or I don't know. I don't know when was the last time we actually swept them in the season. But I expected at least one loss against the Cowboys this season, and that would be the time we would lose. Unfortunately, I'm going to get back into that in a little bit. Obviously, the Niners are hard. Um, Most likely, the Niners are the best team in football right now. You know, the combination of Brock Purdy and Debo, man. Bills. I had confidence we were going to beat them. And again, the Chiefs. We faced the Chiefs in Kansas City, and that was a very dominating second half. I tell you what, I'm not complaining. Um, yeah, I did think that we were going to lose just because we were in Kansas City. So I did not go into these 5 games with confidence. The fact that right now we're 2-1 within these 5 games is very. To me, it's still. Um, I don't want to say shocking, but I guess it's like a sense of pride. Just I'm proud that the Eagles were able to somehow pull a 2-1 record. But I'm gonna say the way we lost to the 49ers, man, that was horrible. Like I said, I thought that was going to be a closer game. There was just no way. I couldn't even think that the Niners was going to just come to the link and just destroy us. Now, what we all saw in the beginning of the game, the first quarter, the Eagles were dominating in the first quarter. Besides the fact they only got 2 field goals, which man should have been. Um, One of them should have been a touchdown, but it had that feeling of last season where they were constantly dominating the first half, and then the second half was up to the defense to prevent the scoring. So that's what I initially thought in that first quarter. I'm like, oh man, this is like last year's Eagles. We're just coming up right now. It's looking really good right now. And then it just didn't go anywhere. It just didn't go anywhere. The game just kept getting worse and worse and worse. I'm like, all right, maybe the second half Eagles will pull out a win like it did the previous 2 games, but that didn't even happen either. It just got worse. And Debo stole our chain and hopped on our beach cruiser and just took off. And some of y'all that don't know that reference, it's, from the movie Friday. Get with it. Laugh with me, please. Ha 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 ha. I mean, you can't laugh at that loss, man. I gotta pull it together, guys. Okay. So moving on. Moving on to this next game coming up this weekend, Sunday Night Football, with against Dallas. This game is super important. We got to win this game now. We got to win this game. I mean, we have something to prove. Dallas is just about getting there. People are talking about Dak being what is it called, the runner up for MVP. There's all these talks, and I'm just so tired about hearing about Dallas. Can it just end already? I I just want it to just end. So that's not even the reason why we need to win, because to uh, we need to win the division. If we lose, if we lose to Dallas, Dallas has already dominated the Giants. We know that they were going to face the Giants one more time. We know that they're going to dominate the Giants again. They dominated Washington. Their only loss in the division was against us. We can't let them win. Use the run game. Did y'all see that sign? Run the ball. Use Swift. Use I don't even know if Kenny Gainwell is a good one right now. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about him, but try the run game. A lot of the passing isn't working. Jalen Hurts isn't running like he was last season. He's trying to be more of a pocket passer. He's not moving around like he used to. Just gotta win this game. And it's crazy because our record is 10-2. But we need to win this game to make sure that we stay on top of the division. Even though we have the Giants coming up. It's sorry to say, I wouldn't put it past us if we lost against the Giants in one of the games. I hate to say that, but we lost to the Jets. we lost to the Jets in such an ugly game. It's like sometimes I wonder, like, when's the Eagles going to fall apart to a shitty team? When's it going to happen? I don't know. It is what it is. No, it's not. It's not. Forget I even said that. So, what do I think is going to happen in this Dallas game? Do I think the Eagles are going to win or lose in Dallas, in Jerry's world? Man, I need a drink. I mean, this is just water. I just spilled some water on my desk. I honestly, I'm going to be completely 100% real. Some of y'all may hate me for this. Like I said, we never sweep the Cowboys. I don't see us winning this game. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I almost ate the microphone again. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I want to be wrong. Obviously, I want the Eagles to win, but the way they've been playing, they've been squeaking by with these wins. Yes, it was a big comeback in Kansas City, but the score was 21-17 with a whole bunch of drop passes. Just saying. Yes, scored and how if you're watching, how dare I not have my chain out, man? Man, what kind of there we go. It's the whole purpose of this thing. Represent. I'm telling you, try to watch this if you can on YouTube or on Facebook or wherever. Back to my rant. Buffalo. Another win. We barely won. Barely beat them. I mean, thank you, Jake Elliott, but still. And then we just crumbled. 49ers talked all that shit, came to the link, and smacked us up. All that crap they were talking, they followed it up, and they did their thing. Played dirty. Man, I tell you what, shout out to Big Dom. That man has a shirt now, and man, I don't see us winning this Dallas game though. I really don't. We're going into Dallas after two wins that we had barely won, and then 49ers just, I'm telling you, they just smacked us. They just smacked us into back to the preseason. I don't know. Um, all right. So, positive news. You see, this is why I need someone to be on the show so I could talk with them and go back and forth with them, because I can't be doing this by myself sometimes because I just lose myself. I still hope I could be very entertaining. All right. In positive news, the Eagles agree to terms with Shaquille Leonard, linebacker. All right. We got a Shaq. Now, again, I don't know everybody. I don't know every stat. I don't know every player. Um, I was listening about Shaq. This is probably going to make some of y'all cringe, where it's like, how do you not know who this is? Like, I'm sorry. Again, I don't know everybody. Okay, maybe I have heard of him before. It's very, very possible. But Shaq, he agreed to a 1-year contract on Monday. Um, I don't know anything else about the contract. I don't have it up here. Um, what I do know is that he has a history with Nick Sirianni. They played together. They were together with Indianapolis. So that's some of the things that I've learned. Nick Sirianni. I have some stuff up on my laptop just so I could throw it out there. So Sirianni is very familiar with Leonard from Shaq. We're just calling him Shaq. From their days together with the Colts, with whom Shaq, a second-round draft pick, number 36 overall, played from 2018 until just a couple of weeks ago. Leonard was a 3-time first-team All-Pro, once a second-team All-Pro, and a 3-time Pro Bowl player. He was NFL's Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2018. Why the fuck don't I know who he is? I don't know. Like I said, I don't follow everybody. I don't know everybody. I don't know everything. I'm just a football fan that loves our birds, if that's okay with you. I heard something about injuries earlier today. I was listening to 94 WIP. I believe it was, yeah, I think Angelo Cataldi. Man, that man is a legend. He said something. I think he was talking about Shaq being as soft as tissue paper. That made me laugh so hard. And let me see, injuries in the 2022 season, including one resulting from off-season back surgery, along with a broken nose and a concussion, limited his play, and Shaq saw action in just 3 games that season. This year, Shaq registered 65 total tackles, including 2 for loss in 9 games. All right, not that bad. Here I am saying not that bad, but I know it's a big signing. That's why it's a big talk right now. I'm hearing all about it. Again, I apologize for not knowing who the fuck he is. Whatever. But now whatever. We've needed this position. We've needed the linebacker position to we've just needed someone there. That's what I know. Now, how about regarding Zach Ertz? From what I've seen recently, what am I looking at here? My laptop just did something really, really funny. I'm trying to see if I can see something currently about Zach Ertz, because the last thing I heard was that the Eagles, along with a few other teams, put in some interest. They threw interest out there to Zach. They inquired. That's the word I'm looking for. They inquired interest in Zach Ertz, as well as our temporary new rivals, the 49ers. Looks like they did too. Do I know anything? No. 49ers reportedly among teams most interested in Zach Ertz. Eagles inquire. 49ers interested. I already said that. Don't repeat me. Okay, so there's nothing going on with Zach Ertz right now. And honestly, I don't want Zach Ertz. And I just said I just said it straight out. I might have said it already before. But I okay, so don't take this wrong. I love Zach Ertz. I love what he did for the Eagles. Man, he was one of the big factors of how we got a Super Bowl win. I, I mean, but this is a whole new team. We have whole new head coach. Um, Dallas Goddard. I mean, we had that one time where we had Zach Ertz and Dallas Goddard. Dallas was our backup, and it's like we discovered that they were both good. So, in my opinion, we went with who was younger, with just about the same amount of talent, thanks to Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz helped Dallas get to where he's at, and we're moved on from Zach and kept Dallas. Dallas has been our guy. Dallas Goddard, Jalen Hurts. They've been an amazing combination together. And I understand Dallas has been he's been hurt for the last few weeks. He's been recovering. Um it doesn't mean that we should go for a tight end position. We have Calcaterra. I mean, how could I put this? Yes, it would be great to see Zach Ertz back. Most people are saying yes, bring Zach Ertz back. It's great. It would be great to see him in another in the Eagles uniform again. The feel of it, the emotion of it. Him possibly could retire as an Eagle. The whole idea, the whole thought of it is great. But let's be realistic. Dallas Goddard, uh, he was he was at practice, full participation, ready for this Cowboys game. He's ready to go. Okay, so let's say if we do sign Zach Ertz, um, how would the Eagles use him? I just don't. That's where I'm getting stuck. How would the Eagles use him? Would they somehow rotate him in Dallas? Zach in Dallas. Like, would they rotate? I, you're taking away a lot from Dallas. Dallas has been solid every time he plays. I mean, Dallas is. Why would they change that? I'm just saying, like, why would they change Zach Ertz and Dallas Goddard combination at all? Like, why? I just don't. I just when would they use Zach Ertz? Would Zach? I don't see how it would be fair to Dallas Goddard if they bring Zach Ertz in and make him the first string, the starter. But again, Zach Ertz is possibly too good to be second string, which brings up he's not worth having as a third string. He wouldn't want to be third string unless he just wants to be part of the team and do nothing. That's what I'm saying. I just don't know. Man, I wish I had somebody to talk to about this. Oh man. All right. So, like I said, Dallas Goddard, he was a full participant in practice. He's just about very much ready to go uh, against Dallas Cowboys, in which I would love to see that because if he's full participant, how much are they going to use him? We don't know. We don't know if he's going to if they're going to take it light with him. I don't know. Um, I just hope that it works out very well where we could use Dallas to help with a good win because it's been quite a struggle without him, and it's actually been a struggle all season. But that's not a reason why to bring Zach Ertz in. All right. So let's see where we're at here. I've been talking for about 45 minutes. Maybe I could do an hour show on the regular. So I've also been trying to see how much time I want to take and how long my shows should go too. So it's kind of why I'm pre-recording this. You're hearing this recording. I want to see how long it excuse me, how long it takes me to do shows. I've rambled on a lot too. So that's probably what I'm going to do on a lot of shows is ramble about nothing. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. All right. So also more time could also pass when I have live callers. So what I'm trying to do, and yes, I'm somewhat wrapping up right now because I pretty much covered everything I wanted to talk about. Live callers. So how this is going to work? Right now I don't have like a phone number for you to dial if you want to be a live caller. I'm going to have a link. I'm going to have a link posted. Most likely wherever this is live, you're going to see a link where you could click on it. You could click on the link. I'll have you on hold. If I have, man, I forgot to look to see how it worked. If you're able to put your name in there, and where you're from, go do that so I know who you are. Um, Kind of like when you call like a regular TV show or TV show. Wow, when you call like a regular radio station, I like to do things like the radio. I miss radio. I don't like doing the this whole visual thing, this camera thing. I really don't. I'm still trying. I have this really terrible quality camera that one day I will upgrade it at some point in my life. But I've had this thing for a while and I'm taking advantage of it. But what I want to do with you callers. Oh, also put if you're able to put down what you want to talk about when it comes to either beer or the Eagles, just so I have kind of like an idea. Another thing is you'll have the option to be on camera or off camera. It don't matter. It's whatever you're comfortable with. If you want to be on camera and chat with me, cool. If not, that's cool too. Anything everybody will see, they'll see either a blank space or they'll see your face. Blank space or your face. You guys get to see my beautiful, gorgeous face right here on camera when you watch my show, The Fan's Nest. Um, yeah. So my goal is to do my first live show um, next Wednesday. Man, I don't even have the calendar in front of me. Hold on, what is next Wednesday's date? Wednesday's date calendar. Hold on. I'm sorry, I was not prepared. I hate when the iPhone just goes right into like, what mode is this? List mode or something. 13th. All right. Ooh, lucky 13. So next Wednesday, December 13th, 9 p.m. I want to go. I want to go live. Um, and 9 p.m. Eastern time. I want to go live. I'm going to talk to you. I want to talk to somebody, anybody, not anybody. If you're, uh, if you're a certain family, please talk to me about the Eagles. Most of my family, they're not Eagles fans. I mean, if you're a Giants fan and you know what you're talking about, let's talk. But keep in mind, you're going to be live, and I don't know how many people are going to be watching. So be nice. Yeah. Um, in a way, I kind of prefer family not to watch this show because I will drop some language that you may not like. I apologize. You've probably already heard me and was like, "Wow." Welcome to my world. I'm sorry. Welcome to my world. Not sorry. Not sorry. Um all right. So there's that. A couple other things I wanted to go over. So behind me, not only do you see Eagle stuff, you see or if you're not even watching, I guess I'm just going to tell you anyway. Um there's I have some of you know, I've had fantasy football. I've had a fantasy football league for a long time. I've had a well, technically, it's not the same league. I restarted a fantasy football league about 3 years ago, and it's called the FFCL Fantasy Football Championship League. And what this is about, it's about it's not about the money, even though in the future that is what I want to do with it. I want to in the future. I do want to raise money for certain things, charities towards the league. I want to make it a nonprofit in a way. It kind of sound like I just said that I wanted to make money. No, I don't want to. I'm not trying to make money with it. I'm just trying to raise. I'm just trying to raise money, and any money donated also to it would go towards the league. I'm not. I'm really not trying to make money off of it, really. But the main goal for anybody is to actually just win at the end, win the championship game, and after the championship game, you win. I mean, the league is called the Fantasy Football Championship League. This is. Let me introduce you to this belt. If you're watching, oh, let me move my Eagles. Fantastic looking shot glass here, or it's not even a shot. It's like a mini shot mug, something. I don't know. I've had this thing for quite some time. This belt right here. Let's see if I don't break anything. So basically, the winner of the league gets onto this belt. This belt is named after two friends of mine. Some of you that are watching, I'm hoping, knows who they are. It's named after two friends of mine, Patrick Gorman and Paul Campbell. They both passed away in my previous league, and with this, that's kind of why I stopped with the previous league. I just couldn't handle it anymore, so I restarted, brand new league. This belt right here, whoever wins at the end of the season would get their name. Now, don't laugh at me. Would get their names put on one of the plates here. There's 10 plates each side. I'm still trying to figure out how I want to do this. Who's going to help me put names on this thing? I will have three champions by the end of this season. This is as you see this. If you're watching, you can see this belt is way bigger than my own head. This thing is humongous. Shout out to Mark. He's the one that made this belt. This thing is gorgeous. Like the backing is like it's like a snake skin, or is it alligator? I think it's alligator. I don't remember. It's black alligator. This is pretty much my belt, the commissioner's belt. Pretty big. Hopefully that stays there where I just put it. And then, so the champion gets onto that belt. Now, what the champion receives is this guy right here. This belt was created by wow, I'm trying to remember, Muhammad Lugman. I believe that's his last name is Lugman. He's a championship belt maker. Reached out to him a few months ago, and he created this masterpiece. I have it on here as you see, so I can protect the back, so the acrylic doesn't pierce the leather. This is real leather, probably about 6 pounds. I'm not even gonna unbuckle it, but this thing right here is beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Ah. So every show, if you watch, I will be showing this off because we're getting really close to the champion. Once I have a champion, I'll announce it on this show. Um, I don't have all the stats right now. Maybe I should start doing that. We're approaching the end of the end of the fantasy season, but yeah, why not? Why not? Maybe next week when we go live, I'll get into the fantasy football stuff and talk about it a little bit. But I can't wait to present this to the champion. So the champion will get this belt. I hope it's me because I'm up there. I think I'm third. Excuse me. I think I'm third place. I got the hiccups right now. Not the hiccups. I got some gas or something. Burping and stuff. But yeah, the FFCL. I'll probably be mentioning more about that. Just go ahead on a Facebook and give the page a like or a follow. Just search Fantasy Football Championship League. You'll find it. I'm really serious about that thing. Trust me, I even thought about doing a podcast about that, but I'm like, there's nothing to talk about with this. So I just report to my league sometimes and talk live sometimes, but it doesn't matter. See, as I'm wrapping it up, let's see. So earlier in the show, I said that I had a shop. I got the name The Fan's Nest from a merchandise shop that I created. It's I started it on TikTok shop. It gets views, no buys. I think unless I keep trying on it, I'm really quick at giving up on things when it doesn't work the first time or the first day or two. Not a good look, right? Keep trying. But sometimes I don't have all the time in the world. So I will keep posting on TikTok. Just look for The Fan's Nest. I believe it's Fan's Nest Shop. I could be wrong. Just look up The Fan's Nest with a PH. Not with an F, with a PH. Fans. Be smart. But that's not the one I'm pushing. What I'm pushing is Etsy. If you really care and you really give a shit about me and you really want me to succeed and make a little bit of money, go on to my Etsy shop. Go to etsy.com/shop/the Fan's Nest, again with a PH, and check out what I have there. I don't have that much stuff. I have a shirt that says The Fan's Nest, and I have an Eagles a hoodie. Why do I have two hoodies on there? Oh no. I don't know how I have two hoodies on there. But okay, so I have I'm so confused right now why I have two hoodies on there. So I have an adult hoodie and a kid's hoodie. But for some reason there's two adult hoodies on there. I don't know why. So the front of the hoodie actually has a green Eagles logo like this, and under that logo it's #BirdGang. On the back of the hoodie, it says, well, it doesn't say anything. It's the wings that you see on the Eagles helmets. That's on the back of the hoodie. So it's like, Eagles wings instead of Angels wings. Just check it out. And then the same thing with the kids hoodie. So go ahead and check it out. See if that's something you wanna gift somebody or get it for yourself. And at the same time you do that, you'd be gifting me some commission. Hey, look out for your boy. All right. Last but not least, so where can you see this episode or any of the episodes? Where can you watch the show? Every time I do this live, it's gonna be live on YouTube and on Facebook. All you have to do is search for the Fans Nest, like, subscribe, do what you got to do the little bell thing. Most people probably don't do that bell thing, but do it anyway. I won't be posting all the time because I know sometimes you be getting this shit, all these notifications, because I get them too, and you're like, okay, this is getting really annoying because they be posting things all the time. That's not me. I don't got all the time in the world to be doing that. Trust me. I'm not going to be posting and doing all this multiple posts a day. I can't even do like one post a day. I guess that's kind of where I lack. I don't have time. I just don't. I sometimes I come home from my regular job and I just want to sit. I just want to sit here, do nothing, and don't want to talk no more. Don't want to do anything. I just want to come home, eat, sleep, watch football, wrestling, maybe even play a little bit of Madden. Stay up till 12. Anyway, so you can watch live on YouTube and on Facebook, The Fans Nest. It's not that hard. You found this somehow, somewhere, most likely where you see this video. You could also watch me live every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Become a live caller. I need callers. I'm telling you, I got the idea from WIP and the show I do sometimes on Fox. Callers every week, the same callers. It's great because I get to know them, and then other fans get to know them and watch them and look out for them, and they want them. I want them. Yeah, okay. And then the last part is, where you could hear the show. You could hear this show probably on YouTube and Facebook if the video quality doesn't come out that well, because my stuff is not that up to date. My bad if it looks like it's, let me see, my bad if I look super fuzzy, or if I'm like looking looking like I don't know how to say it, like I'm all slowed down, like all looking all crazy. I don't have like $1,000, $2,000 to invest in a camera, and more than that to invest in a whole new laptop right now. Unless you want to gift me, I'll take a gift. Okay, if you want better quality, then you pay, you give me the stuff so you watch and listen. I'm not asking for it though. It'd be nice though. It would be nice. But you could. I I don't have everything uploaded right now. I want to get this on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. What's the other things that pretty much like anything that you could hear a podcast on. The life coach show, How You Living, that me and April, we did that podcast. That's out on a lot of platforms too. So I'm trying to remember who those are, but I'm trying to get this podcast out there to at least like the popular ones that most of you listen to. So if you have any ideas of which ones that any of the ones that I didn't mention, that you do listen to, don't just throw out a name and say, oh, how about that one? No, throw out a name of an app or a platform that you listen to podcasts on, that you do. Okay. Don't just say one that just because you know a name of one. I want to be. I want to make sure that it's worth reaching out there. But Google, Apple, I know those are some of the two big ones. Um, yeah. Anyway, well, that's all I got for today, for this week. Unless I ramble on about something else later, that's not my goal. But don't know what don't know what I'm going to be talking about next week. Except I will be talking about the results of this Dallas game. I will be going into that. I'll be going into my next beer. Hopefully, I'll have the beer of the week. And what's the other thing I want to talk about? Possibly, maybe I'll even talk about Zach Ertz. See what happened with that. Because right now we don't know. Maybe I'll even talk about Dallas Goedert. See if he actually played or not. How well he did. I don't know. We'll talk about that, and hopefully I have some live callers. And trust me, I'm trying to get more than one live caller. Multiples, multiples, multiples. That'd be nice. I want to see this thing lit up like live caller galore. That'd be nice. All right. So yeah, that's all I got for today. And that's how I'm gonna end it, whether you like it or not. All right. All right. So thanks for listening, and thanks for, I don't know, watching. Fly Eagles Fly.